and welcome. This is Janice Burgess, or JB Quick Coach. I'm a clinical pharmacist, a certified health coach, and most importantly, I'm a quit smoking coach. And today I want to talk to you about two things. We'll discuss how to respond to a client who asks about whether you're a smoker or not. And we're going to talk about the conviction and confidence model, which I use extensively when coaching clients to quit tobacco for good. So often when I'm meeting with a client, they'll ask me, well, were you ever a smoker? And I was, but I quit when I was 24 years old, thank goodness. But I want to provide you with an appropriate answer. So if you were or are a smoker, you will want to be honest and tell the client for sure. Just tell them that yes, you used tobacco, you used to smoke, but what worked for me may not work necessarily for you. Quitting tobacco is a very personal journey, but I understand how you might feel. So you might be able to sympathize with or empathize with that client for sure. Or, yes, I smoke and I've experienced the addictive nature of smoking just like you have. Let's work together to explore the benefits of quitting for good. So that might be something you would say if you are a current tobacco user. Now, if you've never smoked, you might feel kind of uneasy about providing advice. Well, remember the overwhelming evidence about the benefits of quitting. So this is really important for your client. It's really important for you. And they're going to see huge benefits when they quit in their health. So here's what you could say though. No, I've never smoked, but I want to learn from you. Tell me what it's like. Please share how you are feeling as you go through this quit process. This is a great time to actually switch gears as well and apply the conviction and confidence questions. Here's an example of the conviction question. If you decided to quit, how would you benefit? So this speaks to the real, how important is this for the client? And here's an example of the confidence question. So if you really decided to quit, do you think you could do it? And that speaks to where are they at on their level of confidence. I might have mentioned this a few times actually, but the transformational coaching or its variants are built right into these questions. It helps clients explore and resolve their uncertainties about changing their behavior, and it guides the coach to avoid an aggressive or confrontational approach. It also guides the client to consider a change in their behavior while encouraging their belief in themselves. So by systematically determining their starting point or stage of tobacco use behavior, we can assist the client to set realistic goals and then measure their progress or lack of progress, actually, even by assessing them again in future meetings, future meetups. Using the stage of change model and overlapping it with the conviction and confidence model makes us really good at adapting our coaching style to kind of align with where the client is at the moment. And it works incredibly well. Sometimes we assume that whatever we want to talk about is more important than what the client wants to talk about. So the key is to ask the client about conviction and then gather up the responses that indicate the strongest emotions and go back over these elements by reformulating, reinforcing, and refocusing. I'll give you an example in just a minute, but don't worry because in my training module, I go into this coaching technique in great detail so that you'll feel very confident using it. But think of it as gathering up the flowers from the client's responses. You want to pick the ones that are the most detailed, the most emotional, and then gathering it into a bouquet and then presenting it back to the client. So allow me to show you an example of how this might work. So here are the questions provided on the connection card. And by the way, this is a free download on my website, jbquickcoach.com. Do you smoke or use tobacco? Are you willing to briefly discuss your tobacco use? What do you think about quitting? And suppose the person says, well, I was kind of thinking about quitting maybe in a couple months. Then you would say, if you decided to quit smoking, how would you benefit? There's the conviction. And the client would say, for example, I would have more money. Now you want to relate that answer back to the client. Oh yeah, you would. Based on the number of cigarettes you smoke in a day, you'd have an extra $3,000 a year. What would you do with that extra money? So get them thinking about those clear benefits, something that's emotional to them, and then get them to present it back to them like a bouquet and get them to tell you what that means for them. Next is confidence. So next you would say, if you decided to quit, do you think you could do it? And the client might say, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure because I've tried before and I was really irritable and angry and really hard to live with. Then you would ask, what is holding you back? And the client might say, well, it causes arguments at home and that's really no fun. And then what you would say, what could you do to overcome that? So let them come up with their own solutions. Let them build their own confidence around their answers to that question. But if they can't think of any, offer them a few and then let them pick the ones that are most likely to work for them. So what if I told you that these questions could be adapted to work for any health behavior change? It's totally true. Exploring the training I provide will show you how. And applying the coaching you will learn in this training will give you the confidence you need to work with all of your clients in this way. They will trust your coaching because you're coming alongside their current stage of change, where they're at in their journey to quit. Awesome for joining me. Thanks everybody for being part of this little Facebook Live session. This is actually a huge topic and we'll explore it further. But as I mentioned, the connection card can be downloaded for free by visiting my website, jbquitcoach.com. Click on the Become a Quit Coach link and receive a free copy of this amazing tool. Till then, everybody, stay awesome and thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.